Om Om Sri Mahaganapate Namaha. Om Sri Saraswati Namaha. Sadashiva Samarambham Vyasa Shankara Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam. Vande Guru Paramparam. Shruti Smruti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Lokashankaram Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Sadgurum Brahmavidvaram Om Sri Chinmaya Sadgurave Namaha Om Sri Tapovana Sishyaya Namaha. Okay. Let us chant the Shanti Patha for Sikshavalli. Om. Yes. Om Shanno Mitrasham Varunaha Shanno Bhavatvaryama Shanna Indro Bruhaspatihi Shanno Vishnurukramaha Namo Brahmane Namaste Vayo Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahmasi Tvameva Pratyaksham Brahma Vadishyami Utam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Now we are in Sikshavalli. We are talking about the Vyahruti Upasana. Now we have mentioned earlier, Vyahruti is Om Bhuhu Bhuvaha Suvaha and Mahaha. The relationship between Om Bhuhu Bhuvaha Suvaha and Mahaha is relationship between parts and the whole. Mahaha represents the whole. And each of these Bhuhu, Bhuvaha, Suvaha represent different aspects of the whole. So all of them are organically connected and are also there is identity also there between them. Ontological identity. When there is identity, you can become that. The Tattvam Asi. But when the identity is not fully established, you do upasana saying that you are the total, I am the part. That is Angi, Anga. Angi means the total. Anga means part. So that is Upasana. Now, normally we are doing directly Vedanta. For example, Kena Upanishad we did, Kathopanishad we did, and also we have done Chandogya number 6, Mundaka Upanishad. Upanishads do not highlight a complete section on Upasana because they usually assume you have done enough Upasana before you came to the Vedanta class. But Sikshavalli of Taittiriya Upanishad is special in that because it has plenty of valuable information about value of Upasana. So now we are in the next two Anuvakas, 7 and 8 Anuvakas, also talk about Upasana. Now, I cannot skip and jump on the and go keep going because unless you appreciate the importance of Upasana, your mind does not stay focused. So, what does Upasana do to a person? It gives you, reduces the vikshepa, mind getting scattered in different directions without concentration. Upasana is a way by which you look at an entity and have a bhavana in it, and then you go thinking about that as your real self. So you look yourself through that, and then you expand. What does expansion do? Chitta Visyalata. It does Chitta Visyalata. When Chitta Visyalata and also Chitta Ekagrata, they both come, Vedanta becomes very easy. because Tattvamasi has two. Tvam Padartha, which is I, and Tat Padartha. If these two are not purified, both of them are connected in the heart, buddhi. If there is not enough purity in this and that, then what happens is you do not, the teaching doesn't stick to you. So, purity in this context, Chitta Vishalata, which the Upasana gives you. So, I want to take some more time because once we finish this, we don't have this much opportunity to talk about Upasana. So, you really appreciate the value of it. Whatever, who are doing pujas, Vishnu Sahasranama, or meditation, taking the name of God, all these people are either Kaika or Vachika or Manas, they're doing Upasana. Direct using mind is meditation. That is correctly Upasana also. Puja is also meditation. If you, mind also is involved, and then you meditate in that process. Okay. So now, as I already mentioned very quickly, Upasana is actually evaluating yourself from the point of view of the Upasya. Looking at yourself from the point of view of the Upasya. Just like Hanumanji, when Rama asked him, "How do you see me?" He said, "As a body, I see myself as your servant. As a mind, I see myself as a part of you." So he's looking at himself through him. So the problem with us, we see the world through the medium of the body. So mind becomes a subordinate to the body, and then mind also works through the body, which has senses outside. Then the whole universe is split. Then our mind is also split in many ways because we are addicted to that kind of entertainment. So mind also keeps on going in all directions. What Upasana does is the collapses both of them. You look from that, you are that infinite, and then that is God, you are a part of that. So you are looking yourself from that. So you are infinitely expanded, and then you are becoming aware of your world and senses in them. Swami Chinmaya Maharaj always used to say, world is in you, you are not in the world. Basically, we starting point is we are all pervading. And then we shift our attention to the ego. And then ego looks to the prism of ego. When you see it, mind has its own limitations. And then body also shows up. So when you're in deep sleep, you are that expanded state of existence. Because everything is unmanifest. You are in that state. That's your natural state. So when you are deep sleep, for example, sometimes when you go to a different part of the family, sometimes you go to sleep in somebody's house in the basement, and suddenly you wake up in the morning. You look at, you don't know where you are. You don't know which side is entry door, which there is, and suddenly you start. You are actually at that point. You are not you have not yet identified the body. You are just in that space. And that is meditation, actually. Then when you suddenly identify with the body, then you get the direct sense of directions, sense of where the door is, where the bathroom is, where that like. So without the identity with the body, it's actually it is drusti srusti. In everything in the world is as you see, it appears to you. But if you don't project anything in anything, you suddenly start feeling you are infinite. So in the last class, I have concluded this, but I haven't read the Bhashya because this is so important to get this point across. I read that quickly and then I will go. You don't have to show anything, I will just explain. भूरित् भूरित्यग्नौ प्रतितिष्ठति भुव इति वायौ सोवरित्यादित्ये मह इति ब्रह्मणि आप्नोति स्वाराज्यम् आप्नोति मनसस्पतिं वाक्पतिश्चतुष्पतिः श्रोत्रपतिर्विज्ञानपतिः एतत्तदो भवति आकाशः शरीरं ब्रह्मा सत्यात्मप्राणारामं मन आनन्दं शान्तिसमुर्धममृतम्. Now, this is all Upasana part. We are using the Vyahurtis as the, when you say Om, Bhu, it says Agni. Subtle. Bhuvaha, Vayus. Suvaha, the light, sun. Like that you actually. Then you see yourself from out in. So what happens? Bhashya, I will read quickly, then we will move on. Shankara Bhashya says, he says, talks, just one part I read. Akasha Sariram, Akashaha Sariram, Asya, Akashavadva, Sukshma Sariram, Asya iti Akasha Sariram. I don't know how well to emphasize. It's so important, these points are. So you are that infinite presence when you identify where emotions show up. Until that point, you are like Akasha. There is no coordinates there. It is dimensionless. It is infinite. When you really understand this, it makes a lot of sense. This is Upasana. Bhagavan Shankaracharya writing, Akashavatva Sushmam Sariram Asya iti Akasha Sariram. So basically, Upasana really takes you to infinite state. It gives you clarity. You are that, in that this is dancing. That clarity gives you Upasana. Upasana gives you that clarity. So I know Mahatmas also do daily. They have Shivalinga, small puja, and then you prasad, then you meditate. Then you chanting the name of God and then having that relationship with infinity, like Hanumanji. They do their job because they have duties, but they're strong upasakas in their heart. Failures and difficulties, they say that is God's grace, God's will. They never complain because there's because you become small, then only you complain. But they're not like doormats. They're very practicable, but they have an objectivity in life. Then Kim Tat, what is that? He says Prakrutam Brahma, that Angi, that you are part of that. That is like Akasha, you are that. You have to, identity you have to establish. And then start looking from that down. Satyatma, Bhagavan Shankaracharya, Satyam Murta Amurtam Swarupam Va Atma Swabhavaha. Satyam in this context, he says, it can be forms and formless both. What is forms? In this context, it is all the subtle elements. So forms are Prithvi, Up and Agni. They have forms. Vayu and Akasha, they don't have forms. You are both of them, means you are all pervading. Are the essence of yourself, Swabhavaha, he says. Pranaramam. These are the adjectives used. I went through last week quickly. Pranaramam. Praneshu aramaha akrida yasya tat pranaramam. He defined that. So it is all the senses revel and feel as a sport in life. So the senses are made of subtle elements. When you expand, you become the Hiranyagarbha, subtle elements, all pervading. Senses are various senses have various subtle aspects of the elements. But you are connected top down. So they all are creating enjoyment, like sport for them. Also, Shankaracharya says, Prananam va aramo yasmin tat pranaramam. That in which senses revel. See, we think we have a happy life. We are really almost like beggars compared to Mahatmas. Once you let go little desires that actually occupy your attention and senses, and you connect yourself with that infinite reality of yours, understanding Drishti Srishrivada, you infinite happiness comes because senses don't have any compulsive engagements anymore. The world is not split anymore. They have no desires to constant to pull you out into mess and make you feel like a creature. Mana anandam anandabhutam sukhakrut eva yasya manaha tat mana anandam. It is a creator of joy. Mind becomes the source of joy. Sukhakrut. See, mind is, Bhagavan Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, he says, Atmayam Atmana Bandhu, Atmayam Ripuratmanaha, he says. Uddharet Atmanatmanam, Atmanam Avasadayet, Atmayava Atmano Bandhu, Atmayava Ripuratmanaha. What a great sloka that is. Lift yourself with yourself. Don't come down. Atmayava Atmana Bandhu. Your real friend is your Atma, which is pure. Your real enemy is also your mind. Because it is searching for little things by conditioning. So Mana Anandam, he explains. Shanti Samruddham. See, our essential nature is this. You first get there by Upasana. Shanti Samruddha means it is full of peace. Amrutam, it is eternal joy. Body falls. Body has duty, it has a karma. That's why it works. But you use it as a instrument, but not as your boss and senses. It is truth. Whether you appreciate or not, you keep on just when you wake up or when you sit in the prayer room, it will extend automatically. Can extend the whole day. The peace will stay in the background. So I just wanted to highlight what Shankara Bhagavan has written on this, and it is so powerful what he wrote. So it is very clear. Our Upasana science is very clear. You start looking through your true identity. Imagine yourself as like space, and in that your vibrations are rising into the localization. Localization is taking place. Localization is not your real self. The real self is your infinite presence. Localization is only an instrument for transaction. But localization is not you. You are that all-pervading space, and of which you are a part. This is upasana. Mind is also a part. So to impress upon this some more, because upasana, so people are saying I'm Vedantin, but you do Archana, Aradhana, meditation, in terms of understanding what is meditation is. It's not just looking around and then I go to temple. Don't talk. Think that you have the privilege to be in God's presence. Enjoy silence. For, Forget about the rut. You had enough mess in the life. Don't think about it. Keep people also. You have a duty to answer, but don't keep on projecting. Sankalpa prabhavan kaman tektva sarvan aseshataha, Sri Krishna says, chapter 6. That's all it is. Unnecessary thinking is unnecessary. You have no reason to think. You really stay in the present and be yourself. Shiva Shiva. Japa. See, many of us, when you hear this kind of stuff, you sometimes wonder, how come I didn't know about this? Because you know about it, but we never connected it. That was the problem. It's not that we don't know. We never connected the importance of it and why Rishis are really saying about it, the value of it. It's the last step before you realize. Because bhakti is so important to stay connected with yourself. The vikshepa less vishalatva is important. That is bhakti. Bhakti means connection. Vibhakti means separation. So, I want to say a few slokas in Bhagavad Gita to say how much it has already been told to us, but we did not know. To just impress upon these same points. In chapter 11, Bhagavan Krishna, looking at Bhagavan Krishna, Arjuna, Vishwarupa, he says. That Vishwarupa is what? Anga, Angi, totality, in which Arjuna also sees himself. So, chapter 10 and chapter 12, there are Vibhuti and you can, part and whole connection. That is Upasana. So, I will read chapter 1 sloka, chapter 11. Bhagavan Arjuna sees this, then he appreciates. He says, Namaha purastat adha pusthataha te namostu te sarvata eva sarva ananta viryamita vikramastvam sarvam samapnoti tatosi sarvaha. Namaha, hey Bhagavan, Namaha purastat, you are in front of me. Adha, you are behind me. See, like a space is pervaded through us also. Namaha tute sarvata eva sarva. Sarvata means all around, everywhere. He sarva. Ananta virya amita vikramaha tvam. Ananta virya, obviously is saying you are the most powerful of all. You are also very, very, vikramaha means expanded. Sarvatra, you are available. Then he says, Tatosi sarvaha, you are everything. That's what Swami Chinmaya is saying. You are everywhere. World is in you. You are not in the world. He means it. Because he lived like that. Prajna. Mind should stop always. That is the quality of life. Should not be compulsive or dependent on anything. Now, chapter 12, Bhagavan Arjuna asks, so I'm taking some time because we don't understand when Sikshavalli, then suddenly say, oh, I didn't know. It is there everywhere, but we just have not gotten the proper training in our mind. So chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga, Arjuna in the very first month, sloka he asks, So he has seen that God is everywhere. So now I and he, two, like that, one option. Other option is everything is you. One is Saguna Sakara, one is Nirguna Nirakara. So you have all powerful, you are everything. This is all Sakara. You are everywhere. See, when you are in Samadhi, everywhere, all these things don't occur. Time is also collapses. Space also collapses. There are no dimensions. This dimensionless pure being. So he's asking whether I should be in pure being, as you explained in earlier chapter in Sankhya Yoga or meditation, or should I constantly and only see part and whole? This is the question. Arjuna, this is Upasana versus Samadhi. See, also Samadhi also has two parts. Okay, that's why Dugdusha Vega beautifully that is Savikalpa Nirvikalpa Samadhi. So when you have a support, it's called Savikalpa Samadhi. That is also Samadhi kind of, but it's Nirvikalpa Samadhi is supportless. You are ever existing, no existence, no birth also. It's called Ajatavada. Drushti Srustivada is what is the Upasana. You know everything happening in your mind, rising in your mind, collapsing in your mind. So, so you have. So then Sri Krishna answers this question. I will quickly summarize a couple of verses. Then Maya Vesha Manoyemam Nitya Yukta Upasane Sadhaya Parayopeta Teme Yukta Tamamataha. Those who control their senses and revel in me, they are the greatest. Number one, he says. Number two, then that is the answer to the Vishwarupa Upasana. Then now he says about Niraka Nirguna, Etvakshara Manidesham Avyaktam Paripasate, Upasana that of that. Sarvatra Gamachintyancha Kutastham Achalam Dhruvam. That which is changeless, movementless, all eternally available, but it's the only reality. There are no two there. Then he says, Samyam Yendrigra Sarvatra Samabuddha te Prapnanti Mameva Sarabhuta Hiterata. Here Sri Krishna makes a small trick. He plays a small trick. Typical of Krishna's teaching. Here he says, Te Prapnanti Mameva, he says. He does not say who's better, who's less. They become me only, he says. That means duality collapses. But he would not answer which is better, because it's a wrong answer. If you say this is better than that, then who are at this level, you never go there. This has its own merit. If you don't go to 12th grader and say, you are the greatest, then you would not go to the college. So Krishna would not answer like that. Te prapnuvanti mameva, he says. This is Krishna's way of playing trick on us. They become me only. Means there are no two. So you choose whatever you want. That's where he left it. But here, he makes 2 points here, 5 and 6. Klesodhikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta hi gatir dukkham dehavadbhiravapyate. He says, for those who are body oriented, concrete, you're preoccupied with your body. How I'm looking, how everybody's appreciating. I always looking, always thinking of your body. And your gratification of yourself depends upon how people appreciate you as a body. All these things. Those klesodhikatarasya avyakta is avyakta, that infinite being aware, all pervading question doesn't arise at that stage. Upasana it arises, but all that gatir dukkham dehavadbhira. If you have body mindedness, nirguna nirakara is difficult. He answered the question quietly. Klesodhikatarastesha. Klesha adhikatara. Very difficult. Tesha. Avyakta sakta chetasa. So if you are you're highly body oriented, but you talk about Vedanta, then constantly you go back and forth. You have no Shraddha. Yes, you ask the same questions to everybody, but then you never get anywhere because you never really have the clarity. Body orientation, as long as it's there, it would not work. Etu karmani, etu sarvani karmani, mai sanyasya matparaha, ananye neva yogena, tam dhyayant mam dhyayant upasana. Now, here he says, now if you do upasana, just like Hanumanji said, part and whole, offering all the activities into me, senses as well as physical, तेषाम अहम समुद्धर्ता मृत्यु संसार सागरात भवामि नचरात पार्थ मय्या आवेशत चेतसाम. I lift them. He guarantees. If you do upasana, offering your everything, ups and downs, fears and excitements, then he will take the responsibility to lift you out of yourself. So upasana, don't underestimate its value. That's why I, you should really should participate all satsangs and you should really respect Mahatmas. And then you take the response, you be quiet. Don't try to pick questions and answers, or don't try to point out mistakes. All these things are selfish, egoistic. We are old enough to ignore certain mistakes. Our Gurudev always used to say, don't have that, what do you call, the mentality of the proofreader. That's such a huge blunder. Revel in the grace of God. See, from a Vedantic point of view, when there are no two, how come he can lift you? Basically, what happens is you split yourself into a sadhaka, and then rest is infinite potential. When you do that, automatically that empowers you. You yourself, uddhared atmanatmanam. See, you are pulling yourself down right now. But when you expand Chitta Suddhi, that empowers you and lifts you. That arama takes place because you revel it. That's what Bhagavan is saying. Because I am that already you. But you are forgetting that. So when you expand, you actually lift yourself with yourself. But Bhagavan says, Teshamaham Muttu Samsara. He says, I will lift them. Which what he means is, you and I are one. But when you purify yourself, that purity itself lifts you. That's what it is in Vedanta Sadhana. So those are, see, basically, if you are sincere, if you spend at least 20 to 30 minutes reading and then meditation, and for a few years, it will make a huge difference. If you continue to attend satsangs, it will be clarity also. Makes a big difference. If you attend satsangs, it makes a big difference. Anyway, now before we go to, I will read the numbers. Anuvaka number 7. We are going to conclude Upasana today in this class and maybe next a little bit of next class. So I don't want to. Okay, mantra number 7. Let's go ahead and do mantra 7 number. पृथिव्यन्तरिक्षं द्यौर्दिशो वान्तरदिशाः अग्निर्वायुरादित्यश्चन्द्रमा नक्षत्राणि आप ओषधयो वनस्पतय आकाश आत्मा इत्यदि भूतम् अथाध्यात्मं प्राणो व्यानो भान उदानः समानः चक्षुश्रोत्रं मनोवाक्त्वक् चर्म मागुस्सग्स्नावास्थिमज्जा एतदधि विधाय ऋषिरवोचतु पांगथं वा इदगं सर्वं पांगते नैव पान्तगुस्पृणोतीति. So mantra number 7 is called Pangta Upasana. As I mentioned, you use the things available to you and then you expand. And then the context here is students of Veda. What they know, you have to use their language to make this effective for their mind. Pangta is a yajna vidhi. In yajna context, Pangta means Yajamana, his wife and his son, his Daiva Bhakti, Daiva Vittam it is called. And then Bhautika Vittam means cattle, etc. Gold, silver. These are called Pangta for yajna. And there is also Pangta Chandas. Apparently, it has 5 letters and 5 padas. So, totally 25 Chandas. That is also Vedic. Now, in the Vedic context, this is taken. Bhagavan gives a nice commentary, a little bit commentary. I will quickly read it. He says, Yat etat vyahrutatmakam brahma upasam muktam. We already talked about vyahruti based upasana. As Anga and Angi, using that. Tasya eva Pruthivyadi Pangta Swarupena Upasana Uchate. Now Upasana is continuing, but using Pangta Upasana. Pancha Sankhya Yoga Pankti Chanda Sampatti Tataha Pangtatvam Sarvasya. Here Pangtatvam is used because there is a commonness of 5. We are going to see. So Tataha Pangtatvam Sarvasya. All these 5, 5, 5, 5, you use, you imagine, and you expand. Okay. Sarvam lokadi atmantam cha pangtam parikalpayati. Now starting from world and the cosmic totality of beings, things, and then inside 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5 like that, you connect with them and then you make a oneness. That is upasana. Tena yajnena parikalpitena pangtatmakam prajapatim abhisampadhyate. When you do that Panktik Pasana, Prajapati Hiranyagarbha, you get him and you revel in it. Whatever works for you. Tat katham praktam iti sarvam ityata. Now we're going to talk about it. He says. Now I'm reading the from the mantra. It says 6 panktas are there. 5 groups of 5, 5, 5. First one is Prithivyantariksham Jyodiso Vantara Disha. This is Loka Pramtam. Pangtam. Group of 5. Pangtam is called group of 5. Lock up about the universe around you. What are the 5? Pruthivi, Antariksham means space between planets. Dyauhu means Swarga, unseen. Dishaha, all directions. All main directions. Avantara Dishaha, corners. Vayavya, Nairuti, like that. Ishanya. so totally 5 Pangta. That's called Loka Pangta. It is called. Prithvi, Antariksham, Dyauhu, Dishaha, Antara Dishaha. Loka Pangta, one set. Agnir, Vayura, Dityas, Chandrama, Nakshatrani. Agnihi, subtle fire element, all pervading. Subtle means all pervading. Vayuhu, all pervading. Vayu. Aditya means sun. Chandrama, all those elements that receive light from. So some of them are self-luminous, some of them borrow. You can say like that. Nakshatrani, all these stars. These are another set of five. Agni, Vayu, Aditya, Chandrama, Nakshatrani. Apaha, Oshadhaya, Vanaspataya, Akasha, Atma. Apaha means water. Oshadhaya means herbs. Vanaspataya means trees. Akasha means space. Atma. Based upon the context, Bhagavan Shankaracharya's Atma here means Virat Purusha. Virat Purusha means material universe. Consciousness seen through material universe. The five. So this is the third Pankta. These are the Panta. First Panta is called Loka Pankta. Second Pankta, Agni, Vayu, one is called Deva Pankta. Third one, water, Oshadhi, and Aka, and all that is called Bhuta Pankta. So all these three, one is outside you. Okay. Then Ityadhibhutam. All of them are together called Adhibhutam. See, it also has Adhidhaivam in it, but Bhagavan Shankara in commentary says the Upalakshana include everything, he says. Adhibhutam. Adhadhyatmam. Now I am talking about the inside you. Prano vyano pana udana samanaha. All the pranas in you. Five pranas. Same as outside. Everything is made of subtle elements. So inside also, prana, vyano, apana, udana, samana. Five pranas. Chakshusrotram manovaktvaku. Chakshuhu. Sun is the Adhidevata of Chakshu. Srotram, directions are Adhidevata of Srotram. Manaha, moon is Adhidevata. So they're all connected, they're all in one. Vak, Agni. Tvak, sense of touch. They're all connected to Devatas. Charma magusagusnavasti majja. Charma means skin. Mamsa means mansa means your flesh. Snava. Some commentators have said snava means muscles. Some commentators say snava means veins. And translation. Asti means bones. Majja means bone marrow or fat. Is internal. Etadadhividhaya rushiravochatu. Adhividhaya rushihi avochatu. Now he did research about this. Said these and those have a mutual interacting equilibrium. What is whole thing then? Bhantam va idagam sarvam. The whole thing is nothing but made of five, 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 five. You are not any different. You are part of the cosmos. You are cosmos. Within you, everything is operating. Pantene vapantaguspranoti. By that awareness of commonality between all these five, you become established. These are all techniques to expand. See, scientists, when they talk about proton, neutron, electron, they know protons tie up with electrons and then neutrons, and then they become different compounds. But they don't take consciousness into consideration. They only look at the matter and then they don't see any conscious, they don't take conscious. But Vedanta says elements rise in you. We are going to see Brahmanandavalli in 2 weeks. In there it will come. Completely it is explained. All these elements arise in consciousness. Without consciousness, you don't have your world. You don't have your body. You don't have your mind. So all these panthas arise in consciousness. So Rushiravochat, Adidadhaya, Rushi. A Rushi means one who saw everything. He is the consciousness. You expand if you use consciousness and commonality. If you just stop, oh, you cannot explain uranium, you cannot explain mercury. No, you don't have to. They all arise in your consciousness. If you don't give reality to it, world doesn't exist. They arise. In a dream also they arise. Same thing outside also. Consciousness is required. Senses also operate in dream. So they are subtle. Because there is subtle form, they are available inside. Grass form, they look outside, then they get bound because of they lose the body. So this is pure science. That's why Shraddhavan labhate jnanam, Bhagavan Sri Krishna said. If you really expand, if you're interested to expand, you don't ask too many questions. You just let go. If you're not interested, you have minimum million questions you ask. But you will never get answers because you're only stuck in the rut. This is not answer, it is you. You are trying to fool somebody by asking same questions, but it doesn't work like that. It is you. Just be yourself, be quiet, revel. That's what the previous mantra has already said. So next mantra, I don't need to. Bhashya is very powerful, but instead of going to the next mantra, I will same. I already explained the points as the Bhagavan has given in Upanishad. So Astama Anuvaka, I will read the first the whatever Bhagavan has. Astama Anuvaka is Omkara Upasana. The Omkara has some speciality. I already mentioned the fourth Anuvaka. We talked about Omkara, Vishwarupa, we said, So the Omkara Anuvaka, Omkara is a Pranavopasanam. Okay, let me chant it. Then we will just next week we'll take it. I will explain first couple of lines and then okay. Omiti Brahma, Omiti Idagam Sarvam, Omiti Anukruti Hasma, Va Apyo Shravayetya Shravayanti, Omiti Samani Gayanti, Ogum Shomiti Shastrani Sagum Shanti, Omitya Dharvyuhu, Pratharvyuh Pratigaram Pratigaram Pratigrunati, Omiti Brahma Prasauti, ओमित्यग्निहोत्रमनुजानाति ओमिति ब्राह्मणः प्रवक्ष्यन्नाह Brahmopapnavaniti Brahmaivopapnoti. Okay. So first 2 points I will explain. Then we will today. This Thursday. I have to wind up a little bit early. So Om iti Brahma. First two. Om is iti Brahma upasata. That is added. Krishna Bhagavan in his Bhashya he says, meditate as an Om as Brahma. And in his Bhashya he says Om represents both Para and Apara. Para means Nirakara Nirguna. Apara means Saguna Sakara. Saguna Sakara, Saguna Nirakara. Ishvara, you can say. Saguna. So why Om represents? We have said Om stands for, when you split it, A, U, M. A is the first sound that comes from here. M is the last sound. In between, U. A plus, so A, U, M. Together make Om. Because A and U in Sanskrit, Gunasandhi happens. That becomes O. A plus E, A. Raja, Indra, Rajendra, like the same way. So A, so you don't say Aum, no. You have to say Om. Guna Sandhi, you have to say. Sandhi takes place, it becomes one. Om. It represents, now I have mentioned this in earlier. So Om is so special because it is the essence of the entire Vedas. So we have said Gayatri Mantra has 24 letters. And before that, Vyahurti and then Om is there. And then silence is there. First 8 letters, Bhuhu. Second 8 letters, Bhuvaha. Third set of 8 letters, Suvaha. So Brahmaji has done Mathana. And then he put them in the top. Om Bhuhu Bhuvaha. Bhuhu Bhuva Suvaha. Then he further massaged it, Mathana. He did tapas. See, basically what it is you revel and then you suddenly, intuitively, you expand yourself into that Bhuhu Bhuvaha Suvaha became A U Ma. So Om. So whole Gayatri mantra collapses into Bhuhu Bhuva Suvaha. And then Om, Vyahurti is collapsed into Om. And then Om collapses into silence. As I said, that silence is dimensionless, timeless, eternal, pure awareness. In which words rise? Vedas rise. So Omkara is the Abhidhana, means name. Abhidheya is silence. All the words in the universe are combination of A, U, M. We talked about this in Mundaka Upanishad also, but I just want to do a quick summary before next week we'll go deeper into this in this message. So from Om, which is the essence, all words come. All possible combinations of sounds are come. They are Abhidhana, means names. Then Abhidheya means forms. So all objects then follow. Without a name, object has no sense. The name comes from Om. So, in that way, Omkara represents all literature and all the objects in consciousness. If you combine everything and do upasana as they get apara Brahma, Ishvara, then don't get confused here. Ishvara does not mean somebody is hiding somewhere. Ishvara has three aspects. Virat, the whole universe is what we see. Panktam, Ishvara, Virat, rising in consciousness, as appearing in the world as matter, is Virat, is Ishvara. But physical angle, it's called Virat. Saguna Brahma, we don't call Ishvara, Saguna Brahma you can call. Then all the universal thoughts appearing in consciousness, rising as thoughts, it is called Hiranyagarbha, subtle. Then all unmanifest vasanas, tendencies in deep sleep, because of which you wake up, is Ishvara, I call. All of them, Ishvara, Virat, or Hiranyagarbha, they're all nothing but Apara Brahma. Because they're all pervading principles. Brahma is a source of Apara Brahma also, where you have no concept of time and creation or nothing. You just are total, changeless, birthless, Amara, Aja, chapter 2 Bhagavad Gita, from, I believe, 9th verse to 25th verse. So, Omkara, that Upasana, just a quick introduction. Next week we'll do Shankara Bhashya and we'll finish this. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om.